I want to just pick straight up from the conversation that we was having. For me, I really enjoy and appreciate the conversations that are going on right now because I feel like everyone's coming to a point of realization at the same time. More than anything, I think everyone's realizing how possible it is to live the life that you want to live and achieve and get the things that you want to get. And having these same conversations in many different circles, you know what I'm saying? But like you said, as long as people are on this journey and staying in the fight, we're starting to see now that, you know what, you can break through that wall and, you know what I'm saying, you can move that mountain that seems unmovable in the beginning.
100%.
You know, one thing I think there's a battle between how you want to do it and what is actually practical.
Big facts.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I hate that battle.
Tris writes that one a lot, you know.
Break that down a bit, please.
So you might vision seeing yourself doing business in a certain way, and you might have morals, ethoses, all these things and ways that you want to set it so your business flourishes in that way, but it might not be realistic to the time.
Yeah, I hear that.
Big fact.
I feel like he's shooting me still.
Yeah.
Like shooting me.
Oh, is that a little dig? Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely shooting me
Go on,
still.
why?
I'm not shooting you, bro. I'm shooting everything that goes on. You get what I'm saying? Because obviously, like I says, even with the podcast, we turn up, we get it done every week. We got people that's down for the cause. No one ain't getting paid. You get what I'm saying? I'm not here to not pay no one. You get what I'm saying? That's a bare minimum. So I appreciate the whole of the team and what they put into what's going on. You get what I'm trying to say? I appreciate, man, when they come down and everything that goes on. You get me? But the objective is to get paid from this and from everything. Obviously, there's benefits to having a podcast as well in terms of marketing and this, that, and the other. But we're here for the big bag, bro, in all angles. But realizing that and finding out how you want to get that versus, oh, you only want to do certain things or you see it going in a certain direction. Is it realistic? You know what I'm saying? And how much frustration is it going to cause you to be trying to go in certain directions? Do you get it?
Yeah, I think it's a difficult one to balance because you can't go all the way left and just do what's going to get the bag. But then if you do it just your own way, you might never get to the bag. So I feel like it's just doing the balancing act, what feels right, but also what's going to make you money moving forward.
Let me ask this then. Do you clearly feel like you know what needs to be done? Whether it's been done or not, do you feel like you know what needs to be done? And if everyone would just get on the same page, you'd be able to move forward?
I think that the Sinners podcast is a good representation of that because we got all the way left. That's the red light. You get what I'm saying? Clearly, that kind of talk and what's going on there is going to get you all that stuff. But then you got this light, the yellow light, where it might seem boring to some or a slower burner. Is it going to be profitable?
I think it's all about your aim.
Yeah.
So I had that battle for years because my first online project, you could say, was a platform called Grow Daily. And it was effectively now, it was a blog for personal development and mindset motivation. It's still there, but we're just not focused on it. And I started it in 2017 with my business partner. When we had started it, there wasn't any blogs. Like, blogs wasn't a thing. And there wasn't this like this culture of motivation. You know, like now every platform, every blog, every page has always got a little section for motivation. But that wasn't really a thing. And for years, we were like trying to obviously, not even try. Yeah, we was trying to come to push a narrative that mindset is massively important. Now, looking back in hindsight, that shift has happened. People do understand that. But I think depending on the goal, so for us, it was like we just wanted to be a cultural part in that. So when people refer back to UK blogs, personal development, like we have to be mentioned. And I'm at peace with that. But in regards to converting it to money, we never quite achieved that. But I was okay with that because it just wasn't the goal. Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't, I wasn't sitting there thinking, whereas other things, sometimes that is the goal. You want to convert it and it ain't converting. That's when it's frustrating. Do you get what I mean? So I feel like something I've come to learn and accept almost is what we do. But it's weird you say this because yesterday I was listening back to a clip of me on another podcast. And I said these words. I said, what we do isn't going to be appreciated right now. Yeah, I said, and I referred to like Nipsey Hussle. But then I sat back and I thought, I had to stop saying that though. Because who's to say that that's not the case? Like, who's to say that we're not going to necessarily, within the next year, like who's to say it's not going to go that way? When we look at other like when you look at America more so, you can see entrepreneurs that within a year, 2 years, 3 years. So it's that thin line between having positive thinking and working towards it, and also, like you're saying, being a bit realistic. The reason why he said I hate that is because I hate being realistic. Like, it's just not I hate it. I hate having to like curb things or do it this way because this works. I hate it, bro. But he has taught me that sometimes you've got to say this word first instead of that word first, and then they'll watch it, and then now you've got them hooked. Whereas I just think, bro, like, why are we just raw and authentic and not having to think? Do you get what I mean? So I think, going back to the point, like, it all depends on what your goal is. Then you'll know if you can be at peace with it or not, or if it's going to be frustrating or not.
No, it's true. The one statement that I have been trying to push to myself is, you're only ever 6 months away from being a millionaire. You get what I'm saying? And
we used to say one phone call, man.
Oh, there you go then. That's just simply about scaling. It doesn't matter where you are, where you think you are, and where your trajectory is going right now. You could switch that up and it could go 100%. Full speed ahead with whatever actions you take. You get what I'm saying? But you have to know that, and you have to be in that mindset. Otherwise, you could just keep being the same, and see no results.
Yeah, I always think once you get something right, it doesn't actually take long to make money. Like, once you've got the right thing, literally, like you said, in 6 months, you can now be a millionaire once you get it right. Like, if you don't have it right, then obviously it takes years. But most of the time, I feel like things, especially when they're right, they scale super quick.
It's that analogy about sharpening the axe. It'll take some time to get a sharp axe.
Yeah,
once it's
100%.
sharp, that tree's coming down quick.
Yeah,
100%.
So that's why for me, meetings and regular meetups with your team or with whoever else is very important, because that's what's going on now. We're trying to build the framework around the podcast so that it makes money, not so much profitable, but it's benefiting everyone. And obviously, like I said, everyone's here doing things for free. You get what I'm saying? They enjoy what they're doing. I don't think everyone necessarily is benefiting from it. It's just they love what's going on. You get what I'm saying? But I'd rather see it benefit everyone. You get what I'm saying?
I'm like that.
So
you know what though? In order to get to that level, I think it's a case where it's your thing and stuff, but we need to become more organized, because it's a case of sometimes the grass is greener where you water it, and it's not necessarily being treated like a corporation, an organization, a business. It's an idea that turned into, all right, let's do a thing, and you know what, we're gonna do it seriously, but we're seriously trying a thing. But the next level now is, all right, are you having a weekly and monthly meetings? Are you looking at the data and the statistics as a whole, as a group, board meeting style? All right, it's becoming a network.
Just my input on that as well. Like, we I was talking to CS before, and he knows that we, like, team wise, we've got quite a strong infrastructure. But I will say, it does just naturally happen though. Like, so like when I think about the last time we was here compared to like now, like we have morning meetings pretty much every morning. Like, we've got a UK team and a Dubai team now, like there. But I do just think like it just happens, man. I don't think like, because you know why I say it takes time, because it's people we're referring to, and it's getting the people right. And then another shift is making it a we thing rather than a me thing. Like, even you just saying there, like it's your thing. Like, for me, it's really important that they all see it as theirs as well, because then you start to see a shift in energy. Do you know what I mean? When people feel like they're just working for your dream, you're gonna have moments where it's not fulfilling. Someone might make a comment to you, and you've been turning up for the last 6 weeks, and you ain't been getting paid. You're thinking, my man, forget this. This ain't. Do you know what I mean? I might as well pursue my own thing. So I feel like, it does. It takes time, and I think we're definitely getting there now. But it's taken us time, bro. Do you know what I mean?
I think where speed is at though, and I feel like where I'm now coming to is, all right, it takes time, but how do we speed this up now? Because the reality is, within all of that natural progress, there's certain people that you could hire to come in here right now. They've seen this 20 times before. They'd wave a wand, and within 24 hours, your business is starting. It's gone
Big
down
facts,
a whole new journey.
100%.
Because it's just a knowledge thing. It's a knowledge gap. We can't afford to bring in those people right now. But it's the same kind of people that like MTV bring in to drop a new program. It'd be done immediately.
Do you know what though? You'll be surprised how many of them are on job boards looking for roles that have the talent but haven't found that position yet. So like our creative director, both of them could 1,000,000% work at the biggest companies in the world. Like, they have, one of them has had offers from them many a times, and the other one is definitely at the caliber to work there. But and I've known them for years, but effectively we've found them in the like diamond in the dirt type vibe. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't necessarily, and I do think there's loads of them. There's loads of people like that. Like I get what you're saying about coming back with the one, but I do think they're there if you just sift through.
That's a good point, because also you can get bogged down with trying to move in a certain way, professional, do certain things a certain way. Sometimes your raw skill set can find
1,000,000%.
people that was supposed to be up there, like you're
1,000,000%.
just saying, rather than acting in ways where you think you have to act.
1,000,000%.
Sometimes you gotta take it back to basics, man, and just you know what I mean.
We don't
See people for who they
do
are.
we don't do this. So like we'll have the formal recruitment process, and then as soon as they're in, what's going on, my bro? Like we've got a Dubai team, and they're born in Dubai, yeah. So they're not like, the best English speaking, but one of our guys is actually good with English. And we've got him to the point where now he's like morning broskies.
Yeah,
like, that's how he's talking to us.
Yeah, yeah.
But when the hiring process was very formal, and I think again each to their own. But our company ethos is like, let's cut the crap in it. So it's like we, as much as we're in the corporate world now, especially over there, our biggest disclaimer is like cut the crap, and then we can do what we want. Now we said cut the crap. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, facts.
I agree with that, and my hiring process is pretty much the same as that. Where like we're gonna do all the formalities, I'm gonna make sure you got all the qualifications and experience, but I want everyone to be comfortable and be able to be
100%.
themselves. Like I have people phone me and say, listen, I can't come in today because of X, Y, Z, or I need the half day off because I need to go and do this, and I want them to feel comfortable that they ain't gotta lie and tell me they're sick, and just tell me, I'll give you the day off. But let's. But when you're working, I know you're gonna get your job done.
Yeah.
And I find that people tend to work harder because they don't want to let
They're
themselves
comfortable
down. They
as
don't want to
well.
let the company down. And we have that kind of family ethos, culture, and environment. So it definitely works better than trying to be on someone's back and micromanage and all that kind of stuff there.
I think it's harder for us to keep the act up as well because we've got a personal brand. Like I could do all of these formalities, but within 24 hours,
They're
you're
gonna
going to go
see it.
online and see man,
Yeah.
whatever.
Why am I not like that?
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? So I just think now that the personal brand's so like kind of out there, we just give them the same thing, man.
Yeah, it's a different time now. It's a different time now. What's the Cut the Crap tour about? What is happening?
Cut the crap. Yeah, man, we're back here. I think the mission of this trip is more so is to really focus on our sales academy. So like since we was last here with you guys, I know we was talking a lot more about brand consultancy, business consultancy. So going back to what you said at the beginning of like this moment we're all kind of having, I'd say what happened to us was we had the business and brand consultancy on one side, and then we had the sales on another side. And then we even had client acquisition. And when we was going through the process, we realized that one of the main weaknesses for all of our clients, whether they were business, branding, marketing, whatever, was just their sales, like their conversion, how to turn their prospects into paying clients. Now, sales has always been my background. Like that's literally how I got on in high ticket sales. But because it's never been made to be like cool, I just didn't really ever speak loads about it. Like it's kind of been a, if you know, you know. Like people know that I used to work in the city and stuff, but it just wasn't a thing back then. You know, like now it's cool and stuff, but it wasn't then. So me and Cam was just discussing, and then we realized that we had about like a week in it of like loads of people, loads of our clients were like, do you know about, can you get me any salespeople? Can you help my team get better at sales? But they didn't know what they were just literally our branding clients, marketing clients. And then me and Cam like realized like, yo, like there's a big demand for this. And for me, if I really think about like, and this is maybe a lesson for anyone as well, like sometimes we can be good at multiple things that it can kind of fuck you, because like I can, unfortunately, or fortunately, someone like I can do loads of different shit. Like I can edit and film and all this shit. But in reality, like it's sometimes better that you can't do that shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think what we done as well is we listened to the market. We didn't just say, because at the start we kind of wanted to do branding, client acquisition, sales. The market told us, yeah, we like those things, but we love sales. So to us, it just made sense to just go forward with the strongest punch.
And if we're telling the truth as well, at that stage as well, I kept saying to him, like I'd have moments where like, say it would be like a slow week, and I'd be like, bro, do you think I should just focus on sales? Or do you think I should just focus on branding? He'd be like, you're just shook. Like it's just been a slow week. And then, no, other way around. So he would say focus on one, and I'd be like, no, I don't know, man. I don't know, because I don't know if there's enough people that want sales training. Like I'd be shook, do you know what I mean? And then, because the sales training, when we first started doing it online last year, took off, but then so did the brand consultancy. So we couldn't work out what was going the best. And then, like I said, that week, we've got a lot of people demanding it. And then when I really think about when I'm in my main bag, like my gift, like what I would say like I was blessed with, it's 1,000,000% sales.
Yeah, it's the spring in the step. That's why to me it was obvious. It was the sales, you got a spring in your step. The branding, it's like, yeah, I'm very good at it, but it's like sales, it's like I'm the best at it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have sat here if you lot said to me on the last conversation, like you say you're the best at branding, I would have probably and ahhed. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sick, but there's people that if you said to me sales, I'd be like, mental. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, we just realized that we started niching down, and we realized that there's a massive demand for remote sales roles. There's a lot of sales training out there, but a lot of people just train people and they don't place them into roles. So we realized that there was a big gap for the sales training and then putting them into a job role. So we built the academy based on, you get the sales training, you come in, you get everything from intro to outro effectively. You learn every part of it, how to say hello, tonality, how to objection handle, like how to build a script, everything. And then after that, once you pass an examination, we then place you into roles. That for us was like game changer. Do you get what I mean? Like, it was like what they say, Hormozy says, a desirable offer, innit? Like irresistible offer. And it just went, the first 100 within the first week sold online, and then we realized, okay, cool, like this is it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, to go back to your point, this tour is about getting that out there, man. Like, I think the main focus of jumping on these pods is to, number one, talk a bit more about our sales journey, and number two, we've come to UK as well to sit down with a few schools and educational boards to speak about how we can help the kids. Because if at 16, 17, I understood that this craft of sales was going to do everything it's done for me and generate what it's generated for me and get me in the rooms and build the connections. If I understood just one skill was what would do that, I think it would have changed the game a lot earlier. And I think there's so many younger generation now that if they understood that skill can help them in anything they're doing, their game's changed and the career opportunities that open up for them are endless. Do you know what I mean? So our mission is just to build that bridge so people start looking at the sales industry like, well, I should get a sales role. That's something I can do. Do you know what I'm saying? I had a rant the other day when I was looking at younger generation, like some of the younger generation are risking their freedom for way less than our closers are making on a Zoom call. Like real talk, do you know what I mean? And the closers that we've got on Zoom calls, they haven't got a qualification, they've just been trained. So when I clocked all of that, I'm like, nah, we've got to go on a mission and we've got to hit UK and go on a run and just spread the word, man.
I think that this is your space now, because I know you identify as a bit of a multi-hyphenate.
I mean, to a degree, yeah, I do. What I'm more interested in is why do you feel like it's cool? No, why do you think it's important to make sales cool?
To make sales cool.
Yeah.
From my point of view, it changed my life. So like, for me, if we're being surfacey for a second, like me buying big cars and houses and jewelry and the lifestyle that I ended up living was all as a result of something that's actually mad nerdy and boring. Do you get what I mean? So I feel like if you don't make that thing seem more appealable towards people, like all they want to really, let's be honest, like the younger generation, they want things and nice shit and all that kind of shit. And I feel like you can't change their mind until you talk their language. Do you get what I mean? So I feel like it's important to show them that you can get everything a rapper's got or a footballer's got or whatever it is that you aspire to be from learning how to just communicate, but at a higher level.
So this is where like I would have that point of like what's the word now? Not familiarity, like just shared interest in a sense of you've identified that there's an issue, yeah, and you've now made it your mission to package it in a way that is different to how everybody within that space is packaging it. Obviously, to have an impact on a particular demographic in it. I feel like the reason why I said Speedy was sending shots at the beginning is because that's how I see things in it. So like, it's definitely like one of the weaknesses in my skill sets in the sense of not focusing on how it's going to be monetized or where the bag's going to come from. I will have an idea, but really I'm not fully focused or honed in on that. I'm honed in more on the idea of making this thing
craft,
cool, because by making it cool, you then make it become a commercially viable entity. Do you get what I'm saying? Because
you're creative first.
So, yeah, do you get what I'm saying? But obviously there is 100% a need to focus on where the sale is going to come from, and you need that in it. But my thing is to stand in that same position, what you've just said in it, and I will put all of my energy into how do we make this look, how do we make this feel, because I know by doing all of that, you will get to the bag in it, because you've turned it into something. But there is that fine line to walk in it, the balancing act of understanding, all right, cool, this is the mission, but we have to make bread, because if we don't make money, it's not going to grow. It's not going to get nowhere.
He comes into it. So for me, I'm you. Like, I'm a creative first. We just love to build things. Like, he's more like, I would say, I don't want to say more financial, but he's just more logical than anything. Like prior to us becoming business partners, he wasn't trying to build some massive personal brand. He didn't care about all that. He's just running it up. Like, weren't even trying to even, like, I won't even talk for you. I'll let you talk your shit.
Yeah, no, I didn't even really care for it. I didn't even want to be seen. Like, I was just all about, I'd speak to you today, pay me today, that's it, we crack on. But I think there's a balance. That's why I think the important thing is, like we said earlier, is to find out the goal and then to just work backwards and to make it get towards the goal. So like if the goal is that you need money now, then you need to focus some time on making it now. And then if the goal is that you want to get big later, you need to do both. I feel like where things go wrong is when you're not sure about the goal. So then you work in 100% alignment with like what you're saying in getting the bag later. And then if maybe Speedy's on the I need the bag now, he works 100% on that, and then it's jarring. Whereas if it's just like, okay, what we need to do is we want the brand deals in 5 years, but also we need to get paid now. I feel like then it makes your daily tasks a lot easier because you know where you're going. I feel like
what will happen with us, like for insight, is I'll be like, bro, like for example, I might say, last time we was in UK, we was gonna release that docuseries, and we was gonna release it and do a premiere. Now I'm just on superstar shit a lot of the time. Like I just want it to just, like I want everyone to be like, that's cold, that's fine. But he's like, that don't make sense right now, bro. Like he's like
it's expensive and it's long.
Yeah, like he's like, don't make sense. And at the time, I think we was coming to the end of our trip, and it's just the outgoing for no. Obviously, we all have to sometimes do the outgoings for no reason, but there's a time and a place. That's the blessing of what Cam will say. Me, I don't know about time and place.
Yeah.
Let's make this shit lit right now. Do you get what I mean? Whereas he kind of strategizes. So I think going back to what he said, if you both are aligned on the goal, and what will happen is he'll say, all right, cool, we'll do that, but let's do this first. And then I'll be like, all right, cool.
And you know, within all of that, like, everyone's still speaking from the view of an action taker. Most people will get into this whole conversation and just not take action. Because you know what, I want to do it big and glitzy and I can't. You know, maybe I should just hold back then until I can. Or I want to do this creative situation, but it's not paying me. So, you know, I'm going to go back to my job.
I hear that.
So it's just like...
But sometimes as a creative, you can feel like you want to get to the bag, but not understanding how you're actually operating and what is actually benefiting you right now. So you might be seeing bags from certain situations and you might be thinking that it's coming from a certain way that you're moving, but you're not realizing that you're a good networker better over anything else. You get what I'm saying? So you might have got deals with certain companies or whatnot, but it only ever came from your networking skills, getting to know who you need to get to know, rather than thinking these big companies just wanted to work because of the creativity. It's there.
But it could have been anyone. Sometimes we're putting too much of a high value on our skills and stuff, and it's just like, nah, it's just you're just like, you can feel this.
But I think that's what makes it difficult as a creative, because it's not always tangible. Like there's actually no proof to say that. Like it could be because you're a good networker, but it could be because you're creative. And because you don't know, that's why I feel like as a creative, sometimes you can get stuck in the middle because you don't know.
They always say, you need to learn the business of the craft, because it's like the most talented musical artist is not necessarily the star. They don't even necessarily have the star appeal. It's who's connected with the right person, the right A&R, the right person in the industry that can just put them into the right slot, and they're happy to fill it. Sing this song this way and get paid, right? I'm happy. Versus the person that I'm not doing that because it's not quite aligned with me. Right, no problem. Go on the long road.
But I think they both work though. I think it just depends on what you want to do. Like if I only rap one way and this is the only music I make because this is what I feel. It might not be in fashion now, but in 10 years I'll probably be there. So I feel like
the long road.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on which one you want to do. That's why I said it's all about the end goal.
TRIST is on that. I'm rapping this way. This is my style, and I'm building my core fan base. You're on that. Listen, let's do the tropical rhythm now. And let's get the tune out.
That's literally us. Literally.
But my thing is, again, to rap how you want to do, but I might have to make this radio hit today.
Right.
And I hate making a radio hit.
Or you're only rapping one way, but how many people are you getting this one way rap to? You get it? Because you can get bogged down with one bar that you've written, thinking it's the greatest thing.
And you're saying, forget all my unique style. What do they want to hear? Let me just get it done.
The only thing is, I don't know if
how much needs to be consumed for it to actually be great?
Probably too much.
So wait, what are you saying? You're saying that don't get too caught up in doing it because you're only catering to one audience, kind of thing.
Not even just one audience. Like the time can pass. You get what I'm saying? Like to whatever the creativity is. Like I can see something that could be the sickest thing in the world. Yo, I need everyone to see this. But the time you spent to make it, to get to where it is,
That's his thing. That's
Yeah.
what you're
Could
on,
you have
innit?
done something?
Like he's
quicker
basically
that
saying,
time?
like, you know, like for example, I might over perfect the YouTube video, for example,
Yeah.
and you're saying, let's just do
Good enough.
Yeah, I'm on
let's
that.
move
Yeah,
on to
I'm
the
on-
next one.
Yeah, I'm on that. I'm on
Yeah.
getting it good and then getting it out rather
Good
than
enough.
making one
you lot have
video.
got the same battle I think we have.
And-
But the only difference is that I'm very aware that I am like this. So I've let go of the fight. So prior, because I've run businesses without a good business partner, and I've looked back and thought, bloody hell, man, I was just spending my time creating. Fucking hell, how do we get this bag? So he sold me, like he showed me how to get the bag online. So if he says, even though it's jarring, then I'll be like, bro, I just want to do it like this, bro. He'll have me in the desert, saying what I gotta say, even if I don't want to do it. I like though.
yeah, not true.
Oh yeah, because man was actually in the
Yeah,
desert.
like, bro.
That's a good example because I imagine I want the chopper to go over the verge and then boom, boom, boom. Bro, let's just get in the car and go to the desert.
Yeah.
Bro, some of the ideas we have are crazy. We're getting
Yeah.
quotes back. I'm saying, bro.
Let's go to
He's
the
like,
desert.
no, let's do it, man. I'm gonna hang
Because
out
I'm
the
the
car.
creative and I'm like,
then-
bro, I want to hang out the car. I want it to be like the Wolf of Wall Street scene. And like, he's just looking at me like, bro, we don't need to do that. Like, we could actually walk around this kitchen, put ad spend behind this and convert this today.
That's
Like,
it.
Do you know what I mean?
And there still could be a level of creativity within
That's
that.
what he
in
says,
there.
yeah.
And one day it might be hanging out the window.
Yeah.
It might
Yeah,
be.
that's my
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That's
And
my
then it
thing.
goes to that
Yeah,
point
Let's
where
get the bag
I
now.
guess he's in the kitchen now.
That's the point.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you would have wasted all that time going over there doing that for the same value where he's right there.
Yeah.
And you are still the creative.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. That's the
Yeah.
point.
I think it's just about flexibility, innit? Like, I think it's about not being too rigid. Again, because I trust in him. So if he's saying that, even though, because I'm really on the freedom fighter thing, I'm on something like, bro, I'm not compromising. I don't care. I honestly don't care if I get views. I don't care about none of that. Because I feel like my mission is so long term. But now, like, because I trust in him, like, if he says, like, oh, I think we should say it a bit different or put that first or just do
Wait
the
there,
raw
one
one.
second. You know your mission being long term. Is that because you've already got finances to back up this mission? Are you cool to do whatever you're saying your long term mission is?
Are you cool to die on it as
Yeah.
well? Because it might
Yeah.
never come to fruition.
that's
Yeah.
what, like,
I think
you can't just say your mission's long term for
Yeah.
people to not understand.
Nah.
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
you getting paid, bro?
Yeah,
Like-
big fact. That's something you were saying. Yeah. Yeah, a bit of both. Like in the
Yeah.
sense of, yeah, of course we're getting paid. Like, and in the process, yes, it is easy for me to say my mission's long term whilst getting paid. Innit? I agree with you.
Back's not against the wall. Bills.
Yeah.
Can still get
Yeah.
paid. Still.
But at the same time, where I am a little bit deluded is I've always been like this, whether rich or poor. I've actually always held on to like, this is the mission. Even when it weren't making sense, I held on to it. So I'd say it's a little bit of both.
No,
Yeah.
but that's because I'm the same as you. Obviously, I got a gym, so
Yeah.
I've always got a level of finances there, so
Yeah.
I can focus on other areas. But it doesn't mean that I don't get frustrated for me and for other people.
Yeah,
You get what I'm
same.
trying to say?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
they're not in the same boat as me.
Yeah.
And I can't just throw situations out there that people can't handle. Do you get what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say?
And at the same time, I can imagine that even though you have a certain level of stability, you're still not where you want to be.
Yeah.
So you might as well just be poor and broke.
Yeah,
This is
I think I'm
so
where I say deluded is I'm a mad addict for the overall vision. So I just want to do anything that gets us there. Like I don't really, obviously we need money and stuff, but like my thing is just bro. Like I honestly feel like we're destined for absolute extreme greatness, and not even like on a flexy, more so on an impactful point of view. And I feel like we're doing it, we're living it, it's happening now. So I don't get too caught up on it. But then, yeah, obviously bills are for paying it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly that.
Sometimes, you
And
know.
that's the thing. If you don't get caught up on it, then who does? When does? Like, are we just naturally expecting that the universe will just bring it all together? It will.
Yeah.
If you do anything for long enough, because we're definitely on the right trajectory. We're not on
Yeah.
the wrong paths.
Yeah.
But we can speed it up. We can make 2 tweaks and just have it all in a much shorter space of time.
I think my solution to that was literally partnering with Cam, man.
Yeah.
Because it balanced it out. So now, if I feel like I'm going a bit mad for a week, if I just say, yo, like tap in with him or wherever we are, he is always a lot more like, I don't know what the word would be for it. I guess you could say more algorithm based, but
Analytical.
yeah, he deals with the stats, like what's actually working. He don't deal with vanity metrics. I can get caught up in that. Like if the whole hood saying I'm the guy, I'm saying, bro, I told you. They said I'm the guy. Do you know what I
The
mean?
bank and the numbers is not saying you're the guy, bro.
And Cam will be turning around, yeah, but bro, none of them paid us. But I am the guy though.
You know what? Well, obviously, you lot are coming from more by London, innit?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
We're in Brom, yeah. The infrastructure and the industry is not the same when we're talking about entertainment or podcasting or this creative kind of world. It's a bit, I would say it's a bit harder, innit? And the metrics to go by in terms of numbers, we're doing better than most. We're probably doing better than a lot of people in London now. So for us, we're doing great things, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, but with podcasting,
No,
though,
that's why
go
I
on.
would say that I would call that. That's what Tris would say. I would call a vanity metric. So
Yeah.
it's like the number to me. All the numbers are good, but if the bank balance, that's the real number.
But you see, within
Yeah.
that now, that's when an organisation like yourself could step in and say, right, you've got the numbers, you've got something here. Yes, you're outperforming, but we're going to use that now to sell you to market, different brands and say why they need to be paying you. But that's the one thing that we don't have here. In London, that's almost second nature because they're around that. They got friends that are in the industry and this, that, the third. We don't have all of that. So we don't know what the value is or where to achieve it.
Do you know what? I find the Birmingham debate really interesting. Like, obviously, like I lived here years back, and I've got a lot of connections here, and I love Birmingham. And when I hear people say it, I think I resonate because I know it's true. But what do you guys think? Like, so do you think because the network in London is just like because everything is in London, you feel like you kind of just get overlooked a bit?
Everything is just a conversation away for you. Like we don't have that kind of access. So
Someone's
anything that we
What do you
build,
mean by that? A conversation away?
like you've got every type of person in London in terms of music industry, everything's there. So even like say if we was to rap, we'd have to go down to One Extra to get the big promo and all them things. There's nowhere here to get that.
Yeah.
We're going
But
down
don't
there.
you think now that we're in a digital age that it's a bit easier to build your own buzz, like from anywhere kind of thing?
Yeah, because that's what we've done. But then there's parts around it that's making it harder for us to understand.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Now you're talking about the struggle between an independent and a signed person. And if you're going to go independent, you need to know everything that the
Yeah, but then
label knows.
arguably, and this is just me trying to work this out as well, arguably, even in London, we're still independent though. Like, okay, let's use me for example versus you guys, yeah? Like, so my network has all been man-made. Like, it's not, nothing was, do you know what I mean? I just happened to be outside from a young age, from 16, 17. So your Rasheeds, your
But I guess the
Jamals,
argument is
like-
that you're in the building with them.
Yeah.
So I'm saying
Yeah, but I wasn't, though.
You're mentioning names and like they'll be aware of you from them times there.
Yeah.
For us, we have to make it. You know what I'm saying? There's no one to call. There's no one that's like saying we're gonna pay you to do this or here's the brand deal.
Yeah, but I feel like I had to get myself in that room though. Like, that was hard, bro.
The only
but
difference is just a trip down the motorway. There's no
Sometimes
difference.
the
That's
reason
it.
that-
That's what I think.
That's just me being from here and me being able to navigate with certain people down there as well.
Yeah.
You get me?
But I do hear this point a lot.
But there is still an element to that though. Like,
Yeah.
because there's accessibility that you have that we don't have in the sense of there could be a launch party going on today.
Right.
You've just left work. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go turn up
Okay,
there.
okay,
Man,
fair.
actually
On the way
can't
home.
just leave work and go there and like you have to
It's a
make
whole
that
day trip.
It's a
Maybe 2 days.
So
Yeah.
I would have done that like 7 years ago, 8 years ago. I'm saying, yo, I'm going down there. Like, I don't care. Like that's my mission for the day. But I know why I'm going there. Whereas if you live there, it's I'll roll out of bed, I'll go there, and then I can go to my 9 to 5 in the morning, and that's the difference.
And within all of this, we're not saying it's an excuse or it's not possible or it's just another barrier.
Yeah.
It's just another barrier where you might get a text from a mate saying, "Yo, do you know this is going on?" Nah. Yeah, it's going on. You know, it's not far from where you are right now. That text ain't even gonna come. for us.
No, I feel you. I think I've seen it with artists. Like, you're definitely right. I just was interested like where that comes from because artists say it a lot.
Yeah, no one ain't crying about it. It's
Yeah.
just a case of it actually is a little bit more difficult.
Yeah,
to just
you man
tap
will
in.
get it done anyway, though. I can tell, man.
Yeah, like I think going back to what you were saying as well. I think the podcast game is just a slow burner anyway. Like wherever you are, like I was talking to big up Taser the other day. From Free Shots to Tequila, and like the industry is very saturated for podcasts. But then on the flip side, the other day, like I'm hearing there are big deals still being thrown around, so like which kind of threw me because I had a conversation with Taser and he's saying the industry is
Just
saturated.
even hearing that, there's big deals thrown around.
We don't hear that.
We don't hear that. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, but then I'm in
you're
Dubai
speaking to
though.
Taser,
Who's throwing
and
around
you're
the
hearing
deals?
big deals are
Yeah,
thrown
yeah.
around.
Just disclaimer, it
Where-
wasn't Taser who said
oh,
about the deal, but two
yeah,
different
yeah.
conversations. But yeah, my point is like I think the game is mad saturated.
Yeah.
So, because what about TRIST? He's from Brum now.
Yeah.
He's popping now.
But I'll speak to him on the phone, and even though he's popping in terms of his brand, his YouTube channel, of course, he could be doing way better if he wanted to focus on that.
Yeah.
Where he's got a big brand,
Yeah,
big clothing
yeah.
brand.
Because he gets all the London man.
yeah, he gets them, but he doesn't focus on his YouTube. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to speak. I'm not speaking his business and what's going on, but there's means and ways that he could be doing better with his content. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's evident to see. Like you can see, he's doing big things. He's got the biggest
But that ain't
artists.
his main focus.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not his main focus.
But you lot could get all the London lot though, 1,000,000%.
Maybe-
Like you
maybe
lot
it's
are
an
popping,
outreach
bro.
thing.
Like I don't know. Like, sometimes the other day it happened to us. Like Mike kept tell us. Like sometimes people got to tell you like you lot are popping, bro. Like I don't know if you lot feel like you are, but I would say podcast, especially since when we last came in to now, you lot are popping, bro.
No, we was out yesterday and a comedy place doing content. We had White Yardie there. We had Richard Blackwood.
Oh, sick.
They're
Sick.
watching. They're locked in. They're gonna come on. They're gonna
Sick.
Sick.
do what they do.
One of my best friends manages White Yardie. Like my right hand.
Yeah. See it there.
I guess that's our London privilege.
But we know that we're popping, but I don't know. Like if I'm looking at it on a vanity level, then you've got like Spill the Juice and these things. I don't know what they're doing or what their metrics are, but it's easier for them to set up a show and look a certain way or make certain things happen that may not be possible for
Can I
us.
cut the crap?
Please do that.
Yeah,
Please do that.
I think this is a grass is greener thing.
Yeah,
In the sense of, obviously, I'm not going to say too much, but
yeah.
it ain't,
not always like-
Tommy
yeah.
Mallet, Tommy Mallet says, if it looks like everyone's having it off, but they're not all having it off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it ain't always what it looks like.
But
Do you know
that's
what I mean?
that's what the internet is. It's a place where you try and for real, you're trying to cut the crap. Like, yo, my man over there looks like he's doing massive things, but is he really? Though?
Yeah, but you can't focus on it. I feel like right now it sounds like it sounds like it's in you lot's head. It shouldn't be because you lot are
Because people
cold.
think that about you, though.
Yeah,
Same
bro.
way.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I know that they think about it about us.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I'm not even. I love what we're doing. So,
Yeah.
and personally, it's not about solely about the money. It's about for me. It is about. Remember, I was doing Flush, which is
Flush Media. Yeah,
I was doing that. So I've always been about infrastructure.
Yeah.
Always. So from when I took a break, and I come back, like my head's always focused on trying to build a thing that I know should be happening, bro. You know what I'm saying? So this is just my new version of Flush.
But
basically.
even Flush, I feel like you lot we knew about Flush. Like Flush was a house. It got to a house. Obviously, Graham did.
And one of my regrets is that I never seen it through because it would have been it should have been what it was. It just there was no money at the time. So with this, I'm definitely not. I'm not making the same mistake again. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And there is a bit of grass is green in looking at certain things, but there still is an element of the access that you have in London to certain things. Whether it's not what it seems, you still got a lot of access to. It's not even just artists or certain people. It's the people in the back office as well, or understanding branding and you know what I'm saying. People.
Once again,
I can't lie though. One thing I'll say, and I have to stick to my point on this. Yeah. Like, because it's one of my biggest traits, networking, bro. Like, there's just it don't matter where someone is. I network with them. Like, it just doesn't matter. Like, remember, arguably, I know we're from London, but we actually have lived, or especially me, I've lived in Dubai 3 years. Arguably, it's actually hard for me to get in the mix of all the podcasts, man. I've actually had legends on my podcast that other podcasts couldn't get or haven't got in the UK scene, and they will be on the blogs more than I will, and I get that. But I just don't even care. Like, because my thing is that, okay, cool, you lot might go for that person. Let me go a bit around the back door and I'll get like, I don't know, a Wiley, or let me get a Mega Man be the first platform, or little things that I'll think. So I feel like that my point is that you just got to, and I'm not saying you're not, but it's just thinking outside of the box more. Like, we've got a bit of a handicap, I think I've always had a bit of an handicap because I've always been around the music industry, but I've always been an entrepreneur. And it hasn't converted the same. The friends I have in the industry, you ain't seen none of them on my podcast. Do you get what I'm saying? But they're my friends. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think it's been a bit of a handicap because I'm so cool with them. I haven't been able to be like, yo, bro, can I get your ma? So I just think you just got to network harder, man. And I think internet makes it easier. And I think London as well is mad open to Brum. Like, we love Brum. Do you know what I mean?
it is. I just think that because there is an emphasis on getting to the bag, it just puts pressure on everything
Speed.
and speed and that's my
it
thing.
does, it does.
So I look at things just from the other perspective, and like, I know if the brand is there and we've got a dedicated audience, that audience can be used to monetize based off how we can leverage that to corporates. You get what I'm saying? That's my whole thing. And even though it's a slow burner, I know it's a guaranteed, bro, because there's bigger entities out there that want to connect with audiences. They want to connect with things that's on the cutting edge and underground, innit?
Yeah.
So if we're a hub for that, and it's evidently clear that we've built something, it's only a matter of time before the money comes. As long as you're doing the networking and you're pitching and you're connecting with the right people, the bread will come. But I do understand being in the present right now and needing finances, and that's just where I am. That's why I'm quiet today,
we got
because
to that.
You see what the problem is that the both things work and both things are true. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
actually
yeah.
the main problem. Like, you can go this way and get to the bag now, or you can go that way and get to the bag later. They both work. That's why it's just literally just a thing of balance.
We went through something similar to that, like going back to business, where recently we took on investors. We signed a joint venture deal with some corporate investors based in Dubai, UAE. And one of the main reasons we ended up, well, we was looking, to be honest, we was looking for them, was because we realized that for us to pivot out of doing the branding, the marketing, and the sales and the client acquisition, we were going to take a dip financially because we had to say no to a lot of things. So even if clients were DMing or emailing or whatever saying, I want business consultancy, we had to say no, or we would never have been able to build the academy. So me and him got to a point where we're like, for the next 3 months, like, it's going to go low. It has to. Like, it's just because he had to spend all the time on the infrastructure behind the academy, which meant one half of us income was gone. And then the sales side was kind of reliant on me, but I was still building the course. So it meant that we performed at about 25% of our ability, which obviously financially it shows. So we experienced that, and then what we kind of done, which I would say has helped us, is we got that investment on, which was something that I was never really a fan of personally prior, but I think that was lack of financial literacy and business literacy. What it's done for us now is it's opened up a massive amount of doors, especially in UAE. It's obviously given us some breathing space financially as well. And it's also, as a secondary thing, is validated that our business model is viable to the corporates. And I would, the reason I'm saying that is because I think we've all been through this position where we're pursuing the passion, but now we need the money. And I said it to another good friend of mine as well, who's got a brand, similar kind of scenario. I said, bro, like get educated about raising investment and raising capital. Because I think, and I know this is kind of your bag, I think from our backgrounds, for me, I can only speak for myself, but generally, like my friends, we didn't know this to be a thing. Like even the banks being an option was mad, let alone sitting down with corporate investors and selling parts of your business and you feel like you're losing things, but you're actually not. Do you get what I mean? I think it's important.
Can you break it down? Like, how was that structured? Like, what did you sell? What did you get money for?
So we ended up, we've sold a stake in the business. We haven't ever disclosed like amounts and percentages, but we sold a stake in this business, only a small stake. But the way that it went was, so me and him sat down and we said, all right, cool. Again, for the next 3 to 6 months, we're gonna take a dip. Inevitable. What do we do with that? Like, do we what do we do with that? We weren't gonna go homeless, but it was gonna get harder. And I think what he said, which I liked, was the chasing your towel thing. Do you wanna? I'll let you explain the chasing your towel.
Yeah. So I didn't want to. We needed some time where we can build something that we can actually scale. So it was like we had a toss up. We can continue going and doing okay, or we can take a dip and then be great. So instead of just making one sale and then making a bit of the course and then making another sale, we instead thought, you know what, forget it, we'll make no sales, we'll just build something that's amazing. And once we built something that's amazing, now we can start scaling it. So we got to a stage where it could have taken us 2 years of doing it in drips and drabs, or we could have just said, you know what, we'll just have to sit on our hands for a bit and actually go and get deep into this thing, so that we can actually build it out and scale it out from there.
So then we sat down and we was like, cool, let's look at network firstly before we went into like banks and VCs and stuff. Let's look at network because we both got a good network. And we didn't even have to go, we was blessed, like we didn't have to go as far as the banks because we have got the network. Like I know loads of people around me that invest in businesses anyway. And we sat down with a few people, to be fair, but not a lot of people was getting the vision. Some of them started getting a bit, because in our first year business, like our revenue's been very good. So investors started kind of making us realize like our back was against the wall a bit because they were asking for percentages we weren't willing to give and offering, like they started to think, oh no, that we was desperate or something. And they also saw a bag, like they're thinking, you've done this in less than a year. Like, so we had to kind of keep our wits about us. And then we finally ended up marrying up with someone that I had known for like 10 years, but we'd never been like, he's like 10 years my senior. But we had never really been like locked in anything, but we just had a lot of respect for each other. And he's very powerful in Dubai, Saudi, like he's got a lot of businesses going on over there. And then the energy just matched up. We sat down. He understood the vision. That was the main thing. He understood the vision. He didn't want to come in and change everything. Like he saw where we was trying to go with things, and it was reasonable what he was offering. And he didn't even try and squeeze us percentage wise. Like he said, you know what? Let me show you what I can bring to the table. And then we ended up crossing the line with it. And for us, don't get me wrong, like the mission is the mission anyway. We was gonna do what we was gonna do, but it has given us a bit of breathing space, and it's opened up a lot of connections. And it's also got our brains thinking way more corporate. So about a week after that, we ended up in a few offices in Dubai and started pitching now at real estate companies. And now we do recruitment for them as well as the training. So it's just given us a bit more of a corporate confidence. Do you know what I mean?
What's the difference between cutting the crap and niche group?
Good question.
Yeah, so niche group's like the overall business side of things, and then cut the crap is...
The brand.
Cut the crap, that's us. Yeah, it's the brand.
Mantra, really, yeah.
Okay.
It became the academy because of the style of sales that we do. So the style of sales is very much to the point. Like not a lot of this wishy-washy stuff that a lot of sales trainers do. It's just getting to the point, understanding humans, buying behavior, psychology, and closing doors.
But cut the crap's under niche group. So
Yeah.
everything we do is under niche group.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. It makes total sense.
I want to ask you, based on the conversation so far, has it sparked any thought in the way that you've been moving, in the way that you've been operating?
Nah, not like that, because obviously, as I said, he's sending shots at the beginning of the episode. So, like,
I feel like we walked into therapy today.
like, these are things that I'm already processing in my head, and it like you can't be too fixated on the overall goal and just be thinking about this is how I want it to feel, this is how I want it to look. Like you have to worry about like the bread and butter, like how are you going to sustain yourself? Because by sustaining yourself, you'll then allow the vision in your head to actually be met by...
My point is, it all feels and looks exactly how it is. You're just waiting for it to
Yeah.
look. You waiting too long. You get what I'm saying? And it's there already. Just sell it, bro.
No
You get what I'm
one-
saying?
Yeah. I'm with that.
Yeah, one thing I'll say about my personal journey is I've been sending a lot of consultancy lately, and there's loads of people in property, people doing amazing things, like, and I realize that again, you can't look at someone else's grass because their lane is different. They're doing, like, once you become the expert in your particular lane, it doesn't matter if it makes more or less money than the next man. That's what people are coming to you for, that one particular thing.
That's
You
the
know what I mean?
niche.
And I realized that my particular niche, there are people doing 10x what I'm doing, but they can't talk to my client group how I can about the lane that I'm in, because that's not their lane. You know what I mean? And I feel like now that I've identified that, and even just through the podcast and that, people like, and just hearing me talk, because I don't get the opportunity to talk to people, and they'll listen to this and be like, he does actually know what he's talking about. He actually does these things. And then that would, even just the basic of social media that I put out, it's allowed people to come to me and say, I trust you to give you money because I feel like you can give me a little bit to get to the next stage. You know what I mean? And that's actually somewhere that I wanted to be, and I was overthinking it because I thought I had to be at this point and look this way before I could charge someone for consultancy.
Do you know what? Sorry to cut you, Michael. Something that he said to me that stayed with me forever. Yeah, whenever we build things, he always says, "Let's raise money first." You'll probably like this. Let's raise the money first before we build it out. So like, we can speak about that.
Yeah.
Our sales academy, now not because it's the man, and just more so like it being live, but our sales academy, like we sold it first, like in the sense of like we knew what was going to be in it, of course, like, but we sold it first, validated that it is sellable, and then we started going mad with the marketing and the content and I can't lie, even though it's so basic, him introducing me to that concept for me is just like, it's amazing.
That's the idea of the someone with a t-shirt design,
pre-sales.
Yeah.
Pre-sales is the same thing.
It's a minimum
But a lot
viable
of people
product.
miss that, you know, even the t-shirts thing, like,
so we're not used to that. We're not used to pre-sale selling it, like.
I wonder why though.
I've been thinking about that a lot recently, you know, to put on with events, selling the tickets, and then
That's what I say.
100%, man.
Location to be confirmed.
We don't do nothing the other way around anymore. Like when I first partnered up with him, I was like, okay, cool, so I got to build this. And he's just like, bro.
You know what it is?
Doing too
I
much.
think, you know why we kind of probably think like that is, you know, like when they say, before you buy something, you need to have 10 of them. Like, that's a thing that's pushed onto all of us. I feel like we need to have the money in the bank to validate what it is that we want to do before we do it. Like, rather than just putting the idea out there.
Yeah, but I think the idea does validate it.
Yeah, I hear it. I
You have
get
to
it.
believe in yourself.
Yeah,
It's your
yeah,
ability
yeah.
to deliver it that makes it valuable.
Yeah, 100%. And the reason why I think it's so smart is because you could spend, and this is what he always used to say, you could spend so much time building it and it don't sell.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
That is the problem, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can miss the opportunity trying to create something that you're already there creating. Like,
Yeah.
it's there, bro. You just need to sell it.
Yeah, my thing is, it's never right until the audience says it's right. So like, I could build it and I think it's good, but if they don't, then it's done. So I'd rather let them think. Do you like this? Do you like this? Oh, you like that one? Okay, cool. Because we don't get it right every time. We might put out an offer that people don't buy, and
Which
then
I
it's
think-
like, all right, we won't build it then.
I think going back to YouTube's personality, it reminds me of us two. Where you probably was like where I am, where it's like the whole thing of like we can wait for the audience to validate it. Our thing is like, no, we've created greatness and they have to come to us. You know what I mean?
How can I not love it?
Yeah, like how can they not love
yeah.
it? But if we're being really honest, that's ego attached to whatever we're building, innit? Whereas
100%.
now, like, we could turn around, God forbid, but we could turn around and be like, okay, cool, ain't selling. Let's switch it. We ain't lost nothing. Do you know what I mean? We ain't lost no money. Like we've already sold it anyway. Like you might not make as much as you wanted to make off it, so you might move on, but you still made from it first.
I mean, the worst case scenario is if you do get 1 or 2 sales, it's a case of going to them and saying, listen, this product might not be available, but I'm happy to replace it for another one.
Yeah, it's so much room.
Yeah.
And when we sell as well, just like a disclaimer as well, we don't sell based on it's starting on Monday. Oh shit! Like we will sell, and it's very clear that the academy will start in 6 weeks. Now within that 6 weeks, it's building, and it's more than enough time to get the product right. We even went past our launch date because we were so like perfectionist. But now it was at a good stage. You can be a perfectionist once you've sold it. You get what I'm saying?
No, I got a question then. So obviously you guys, you're in the content game, you're in the brand game, but you monetize based off selling courses, putting on events and stuff like that. How could a podcast do that? How do you see that? Cool. Like how could we replicate that in our own way?
It sounds like he's asking for free consultancy.
or there's another question: is content really sellable as a product? Like if we're talking about, being realistic.
Sorry, just to cut you there though, one of the things that we was going to push as a product is getting small businesses or aspiring businesses onto the show and to pay for a seat. They pay for the seat because the money that you're spending in breaking it down, it's like literally probably worth like 500 to 1,000, like just raw money.
Yeah.
There's a few things. I'll let you go first.
To be honest, I always think whenever you've got the eyeballs, you can always make money if there's the eyeballs. Now the how is difficult, and that's why it's creative. Even an example like that, but eyeballs and attention is always the things, especially long form. Like it's easy to get to watch a 60-second clip. With a long podcast, if you get people sitting for an hour, someone could come on here and sell themselves for an hour, and that in itself is valuable. The actual how, I got to go back to the drawing board for that one.
So a few things I would say is number one, the mastery of something is always key to sell. So let's say, for example, and something that I've learned working with Cam is mastery. We sometimes get scared to say that because there's always going to be someone bigger and better. So you lot might sit here and say, yeah, we ain't mastered the podcast game, but I might say, well, you have to us. Do you get what I mean? I might need the guidance on, for example, I might say, all right, look, show me how to set up this, what you've got here. That's something you can monetize on, and I'd probably pay it, especially if you're going to make my life
Like
easier,
that. No
it's going to be
messing around.
efficient, no messing around, and I can see the finished product. So that's one thing. Live events is an amazing game right now for podcasts. Like I even saw my little cousin, her podcast is way smaller than this platform. I went to an event like 2 days ago in London. She had about maybe 50 people in there. They might have paid, I don't know, a $5, but do you get what I mean? Like she's a lot younger than we are, and her thing isn't on as big of a scale, but it's niched down. It's about food. It's a food podcast. So there's that avenue. Obviously, the advertisement avenue. Once you build up the data, there's definitely the charging people. Like I don't know what follow account you guys are on, but I know other platforms that we're friends with, they're charging now, and they deserve to because they're boosting careers. And then I think another thing off of that is also what you can launch off of it in the sense of, remember we spoke before, like from a personal brand point of view, me personally, like if I was behind you guys, I would make him a personal brand because he's sellable, he's marketable, and it's also quite niche in the sense of like, he's been from the roads, he's done the even flush media, like, and the empire that he's building. And then there's so many ways that someone could buy into you and need help with. So then there are a few things that I would utilize, but there's definitely routes now, I would say. 100%.
Well, based on that, let me put it out there that the Sinners Finance segment of the Sinners Network is offering paid seats, £500, minimum of an hour sit down. And for that, you're going to have a very interesting conversation. We're going to talk about aspects of your business that you probably didn't even consider. It will get out there. And then furthermore, we're broken down into viral reels. We know that the team has the understanding of how to break these things down so that the message gets spread very far and very wide. And we've done good things for people's businesses that have sat in these seats.
Yeah.
So right now, you might be getting onto the channel organically if you know one of us or we just happen to talk. But if you want to speed up that
we've got
process,
that last little luck slipped through the door.
if you want to speed up that process, £500 right now. That's today's price. But it will do things. It will push you forward, and it will definitely generate sales. I'm pretty sure most people will generate the £500 back quite quickly, just in natural sales.
100%.
Yeah, if you got an offer, if we get one client off of this, we're up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think we need to focus on live events as well, even for the
Definite.
finance.
And you know why I would do that if I was you guys? Because of that
Sections,
Birmingham disadvantage is why I would do the events. Because then that actually eradicates that in the sense of people will come up, number one, and you could do them every city.
Yeah.
Could
I
do them
really
every
wanted to
city.
do a brunch, you know. That's what I really want to do.
Sinners brunch would be sick as well.
I really want to do a
Yeah.
brunch.
Big
man.
controversial one.
The conversations that, but just sitting down, watching on stage, I don't think that's enough. The brunch, food,
A
drink.
nice mixture between the two. There's
Gotta be a balance.
Events is a space that
Yeah.
I ain't even spoke to Cam about yet because the last few days I've been thinking about it. But I want to go heavy. It's actually my background anyway. I want to go heavy in events because, like I was saying to CS before, like you got the money you make from the event, then you got the content you make effortlessly just from the event. Then you actually meet people in like it's actually a win-win all in one day.
You just get paid to network, innit?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
literally, you just want to meet people, build
Literally.
real connections.
The event we came to UK to speak at, like they're Gen Z, so they're like younger, bro. Like their audience is mental.
Yeah, I've seen their stuff.
Their audience is mental.
Like I said, I heard that Level Up Day did all right though.
Level Up
Financially, I
Day.
heard it did pretty well, and it was like intimate. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. It was a higher ticket that they charged for. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I think events is something that we really, you know what it is, more than anything, we need to see the people that are watching.
Yeah,
You get it?
100%.
Interactive.
Because then you'll work out more what you can sell.
Yeah.
That's another thing, innit? Like for us,
Yeah, yeah.
we're like knowing who your audience are. They'll tell. Something I always teach in sales is listening is the biggest key. They'll tell you how to sell them.
Yeah.
100%.
Because obviously when you do so many things, you don't have time to actually take in the energy that you get in from certain projects. So like I said, I could be in the gym. There's a lot of people know that I do the podcast in the gym. A lot of people do come up to me and, you know what I'm saying, you know, show their respect and whatnot. But I don't know if we're really taking in who is actually watching. But the numbers are bigger than most. Like you said, if you got eyes, then you should be able to sell. And that's what we are trying to figure out now, what we are supposed to sell based off the content that we make. And there's obviously loads of doors, you get what I'm saying? Because it's very wide. But at the same time, your brain can just...
You know, the first thing is though, just go with the path of least resistance. Where's the lowest hanging fruit? I
Yeah,
think
definitely. I was gonna say
shows would naturally work because there's enough people watching that you could fill a room, a reasonably sized room. And if you add more value to that, you can add more money to that price tag. That's why I like a brunch, because if I'm paying and I'm sitting down and it's an evening or afternoon or whatever with drink and food included, you can get some money out of me.
Yeah.
Because I know that it's going to be entertaining. Whatever you put on, because I've watched the podcast already, and I know that it's generally going to be some kind of good content. So I ain't got to worry about am I being entertained. So
and also there's no problem getting it wrong, man. That's what I like about the whole.
That's a big thing, you know.
Yeah, there's no problem.
That's a massive thing, though. I think that's what stops everybody in it.
Yeah.
Like
and with
getting
all
it
of
wrong.
that, pre-sales.
Yeah. I think
go
even-
back to that.
Or
Yeah.
not feeling like you got the finances to support what you're saying. Too scared to...
Pre-sales?
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I just think it's all a raise the money first, honestly, for
Yeah.
everything.
That changes the whole conversation.
Yeah,
100%,
changes the whole conversation.
Because what we're talking about, all right, probably need like anywhere between 2.5 to 5 bags put down to really have it how you want.
Yeah, but you can sell it now.
But yeah.
See, that's my thing. My thing is always I'll put the ball back in your court. You wanna do things. If you guys were a client of mine, I would just say sell it now, tomorrow,
Yeah,
bam,
100%.
release it. And then you, the first people you release it to, if people aren't interested, then all right, maybe we don't do a show, maybe we wait 6 months and try it again. But you can sell it now. Like that's the only thing I want to make clear. I want to make it clear that you can sell it now. And the second thing I want to make clear is not that you can fail or whatever. You will fail. Like the first one might not be that good. Might not. Probably won't be that good. But you have to get that first one out of the way to get them good.
Yo,
like, that's the two things. So like,
It's October now. Can you get a December, January one in?
That's what we need to do.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
1,000,000%.
We know all the answers. It's just a case of, well, you're going to do it then. It's one of them ones, isn't it?
Because you see, being creative as well, your creativity can be sold before it's a product. So like the advert can look mad, the can look mad, the promo, the marketing, and there's no deposit on no venue yet. Do you know what I mean? And by that point, you will know, like he said, like we've sold everything prior to everything, bro.
That's a big cost. That because it's in house.
Yeah.
That can kind of be
100%.
absorbed the piece.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm like. I'm like, yo, I want to get this done now. Then CS will be like, but you got to get this first. That
is
verse,
me, innit? That is
this verse, that verse. I'm like, bro, I don't care about that.
I'm learning, man. I'm learning.
But I do think you both need to, like, as much as you're saying you're
need both
learning,
of you.
you need both, man.
Yeah.
And that was the same for Bomber and Lou. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Bomber, man.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. They had the same thing where Louis was impulsive and Bomber is more controlled, and the business that if you've seen that episode with the dog food and all that.
Yeah. I
And
see it,
they
man.
came on the podcast and they've had a viral video that's got them a couple thousand followers. They've got DPD orders going up just from the viral clips. So that's just raining into the £500, like the clips that are made from this podcast.
Now they cost money. They cost money.
On that note, can we get some of those and talk about what we're selling here? Yeah? Let's talk about our Stars Academy if that's what's going on over there. Yeah.
Go on.
And let it go. Yeah, what is it?
No, obviously
How much is it? Because it looks good. I'm sure it's great, but what's the cost?
So great question. We originally started at 5K, and that 5K included the training. So you get trained. It's self-paced, so it could be 12 weeks, 12 days, up to you. But it included the job placement. So you're in a role straight away where all you're doing is being provided with leads and you're closing those deals. So we usually say as a benchmark, earning potential is anywhere between 5 and 15K a month. As much as that can sound a bit broad,
That sounds
if we downplay it,
even the 5K.
yeah, if we
sounds
downplay
like
it and stick for the 5 for this conversation, and that's all in remote closing. So it's higher ticket sales. So to kind of elaborate on what that is, it is literally same thing we're discussing right here. Like it's like you selling your consultancy for 1,500, 2K, 3K. Usually we say start at 3K, but generally speaking. But instead of you selling, someone sells for you. So you might have an ad campaign out there, and then you get leads generated. everyone's brains.
Stop. Go back. Hang on. We need to take couple steps back.
All right,
there's gonna be people here listening to this hearing five bag a month. All right.
Yeah, let's break it down.
You got me straight away. What is remote sales? What do you mean?
Okay,
do I need to go to Dubai? Do I need to be in London?
Brilliant question. So remote sales can be anywhere. So let's change the term remote sales to high ticket sales. Yeah. When I was 20, I got into high ticket sales, and I was in London. So there was nothing. Forget Dubai for a second. Forget all of that. What we were selling when we was younger is I was working for a company that was selling investment packages, high ticket ones. So could have been fine wine, precious art. But I just fell into that job. A friend of mine had the job, got me the interview. Within the first year, I made like over 100K. And then after that is where every year, like 200K, 300K, that was consistent for like from 20 to like 28. So that's my own experience, yeah. Then I didn't know that this industry existed online because it didn't. Because obviously lockdown changed the world. And then it started to get to the point of, even for me with my office, when I lived in the UK in 2020, we couldn't go into the office. So then we started doing calls from home. And then we realized, we're remote now. Then obviously meeting Cam, Cam was only ever into remote effectively because it was all from his bedroom, as you know the story. So me merging my experience and his made me realize, okay, high ticket closing in a remote fashion. And when we looked it up and started studying, it's already a huge industry, but more big, it's bigger in America, but it's huge. Like we're just a small part of it. Yeah. So effectively you're always selling a high ticket product. That could be consultancy, marketing services, could be recruitment packages. It could be personal training. Like you could do packages at like $2,000 for 6 months or whatever. That is a high ticket sell. So what ends up happening is you launch an ad campaign of some kind or whatever it is you're doing to get your leads. But let's say the typical way would be that you generate the leads, and like I said,
that's what the business would do, by the way.
Right.
You don't do that.
yeah, that's what the
You're
business
ready
would
to
do.
just catch the leads that are coming
Yeah.
in.
So say for example, you're the business, you've generated the leads, you've got 100 leads. You needed someone to either be an appointment setter or a closer. We've got that. We've got loads of them. They're all in our
training
academy and they're all trained. So what we would do is now is we'd offer you that person. So bear in mind, I'm telling this for the people who want to get in the role, not for the business owners as such. And someone would apply for that role. So if someone's watching this now, they could apply for that role. And their job would be to close people on MG Properties, a consultancy scheme, or whatever it may be. And every time they close, they'll get a 10 to 20% commission. Now, if your product's at 3K, 5K, 4K, 10K, you start to work out the maths. That's how they make their money. Yeah.
One of my consultancy programs is a 4-week program that helps people to get into supported accommodation.
Okay.
It's £1,000. Would that be too low?
Nah, we still got.
Not necessarily, but then it wouldn't be too low. But you have to think about, from your perspective, if you wanted a top closer, a top closer would rather close a 10K deal because he can. So you'd get someone, but for 1K, then what you're gonna give them maybe. If you gave them 25%, that's just to make it appealing to them. Let's say it's 250. Now we're gonna have to start selling loads of them. Whereas, for example, we've placed someone at an Airbnb course, which is 25K, and they make one sale and they make the 10%. They make $2.5 grand. Now they put their feet up for the day. So I wouldn't say it's too low, but
splitting the cake with a lot more.
Yeah.
Is it easier to sell something that's a higher ticket than a low ticket?
No, it depends.
I don't think it's much more difficult to sell something that's higher ticket.
Yeah.
In fact,
you're gonna argue that it's easier, isn't it?
Yeah, the reason I say that is because if I'm on a meeting with someone that's selling something that's 25K, I'm someone that already spends money. I must be a buyer because I'm not jumping on something for 25K if I'm not. Whereas if you're selling something for 1,000, normally you're actually going to be selling to people who aren't actually comfortable with dipping in their pocket to spend on anything. And I feel like that's an annoying problem because it's like, if you knew how much value there was in this £1,000 product and you're still not buying it, it's ridiculous.
So it's a waste of time actually making something that's packed with loads of value at a low ticket. Because
Depends.
I wouldn't call it a waste
agree
of
with that.
time. I wouldn't call it a waste of time by any means, but
because you could flood it depends. You could flood a low ticket product and do it mass like the Andrew Tate method, which is just low entry point.
£140 and he's killing it.
Yeah, do you get what I mean?
100%.
For
They're
us
just different.
personally,
The reason I say they're different is it's like, look, if you have the facilities to flood something, if you've got the eyeballs or you've got the budget, you've got enough people to show, then low ticket makes sense. If you don't, then high ticket makes sense. Like they're just, I think they're just different strokes for different folks.
So let me just have this example, just so I understand. So, Sinners Finance is selling a low ticket item, £500 for a placement, and you for a seat at the table, and obviously all the value that comes from that. So we could then have a marketing pack that we encourage other people to share, and if they're bringing something, they're gonna get like 100 off it or something like that.
Yeah.
So you're saying the equivalent. However, you're different because you're saying we're focusing on the high ticket items, and with that, we're going to give you the training to get through and be confident in doing that, and even guarantee you a placement on the other end of it. So you've got a high ticket item to even use those new skills to go and
100%.
train.
Yeah.
Just to add on to how we're able to guarantee as well, because that word's always a bit of a taboo online. So we did it the other way around. Like we raised the money first, effectively. So we signed the deals first. So we've got the employers that they're on us on a daily basis. If you've got more staff, so it's online coaches. We've got B2Bs. We've got real estate companies, mainly online consultancies and coaches. So effectively, what we do, what you're getting into, but with much bigger following than we potentially have, higher ticket than we have. We've got Airbnb based businesses, some in property consultancy, marketing consultancy, PTs. So we've already got that end covered, and we signed contracts with them prior to releasing. So now the role was obviously getting the people to fulfill those roles.
So is that a level of exclusivity on those contracts as well?
Yeah.
So
and a certain standard. So the reason why we've had to be very pedantic about our training is because we screen them before we place them. They don't get screened again. So if you go and get placed and you're not good at that role, it affects us. It looks bad on us.
So it's kind of a good entry point for people to get into the world of sales, because
100%,
it's like the sales with the stabilizers on it.
Yeah,
man, 100%,
100%. And you can, it's just an easy way to make the money. Like if you actually go through it and you take your
Sounds
time.
good.
Yeah.
Sounds good, man.
And you know what as well, like the main reason why we felt like it was needed is because of the fact that you get a lot of salespeople. Remember we had that debate before about like 5K being good earnings and stuff like that, yeah?
It is good.
So you get a lot of salespeople, especially me. I put out controversial statements. So I always say, if you don't make more than 10K a month, then you're not a sales rep. I know you're gonna hate that one, but I said what I said there. So things like that.
Top 1% earners in the world.
People will be sitting in the office and think like, what the hell? Like I can't make that, and they're right. And something Cam always says is there's usually two problems holding people back. It's either they haven't mastered sales, or they're just not in an infrastructure that allows you to make that money.
You're not selling the thing, the big enough.
There's
It's
not
just
enough
possible.
Yeah, that's
to
it.
be made.
And that actually making the course was easy because of that. We just ticked off both things. We make sure you're good at sales, and then we make sure you get a good job. So there is no way. Like, it's easy for us to say you're gonna make 5 to 15K. Even your reaction when you said, "Oh, 5," like it seems mad. If you just went out there and walked down the high street and said it, people would be like, "Oh yeah, all right." But the maths just makes sense. You're selling a high ticket product.
Sorry to cut you. We got one of our closers is 19. Like, we always talk about him because he's 19, and he also does recruitment as well, and he makes minimum 6-7K a month just from closing appointment setting. He doesn't even close for us. He just appointment sets for us. So it's more than possible. And the thing is, as soon as you go online and if you type on TikTok like remote closing, you'll realize the whole world that you just probably didn't know about.
Yeah, I've stumbled across it like a couple of times when they've tried to come to me and like, do you want more leads for your business and that? And I was just like, a lot of them are not trained. They can't deliver. They've seen the videos and they're trying the thing, and I respect that, but they can't do it. Then you got the guys that do the TikTok version of it, but sounds like a good product.
How do you target the different groups of people? So, you know, like you said, PTs. Like, how do you go about finding all of those people that you're going to target and then send out the sales team to them?
We had them as clients. That's how it started. So we already had a wide variety. Like, at the time, I had clients to do everything from nightclubs to laser aesthetics, and so that's how it started. And then we've got obviously our own outreach team that have gone further and got the clients on board, and that's what they're consistently doing on a day-to-day basis. So their role is to go and get more of these people. Do you get what I mean? So one of our guys might message Michael and be like, do you need an appointment set? Do you need a closer? That's how we originally built that.
Wait there. You guys have created an outreach team, but then you created another product, which is the actual sales academy.
The outreach is to bring it
to
back.
bring people into that team as well. Okay, you lot are smart. I get it.
Yeah. We've covered both ends.
Yeah.
And then now we're obviously going into the recruitment side as well as the training. So now our not even now, but another part of that, what's happening a lot in Dubai, is we're sitting down with real estate companies that need improvement in their sales, and we're saying, okay, look, we can offer sales training, but what we found is that most of them don't necessarily really want to invest a lot into their sales training because they're doing well, they're making millions, companies going. So then we say, okay, cool. Do you know what we can do though? We can get you people. So then if we start getting, especially UK, because they all want UK people, if we're the go-to for that, now our foot's in the door, and then we'll do the training now.
So wait there, when you say you can get them people, what people are you
Sales reps. So people who want to move to Dubai for like real estate roles. Anyone who wants to move to Dubai for any kind of sales role, they have to shout us. Otherwise, they have to go through us.
I guess it's one of those things. The more people you can get selling one thing, the more it's so. Like if you're selling multi-million-pound properties, you kind of need more eyes on it. Like you never know when that one person will know that one person that wants to buy it. It's not everyone that's gonna buy it, so everyone can sell it if you want.
Yeah, man.
I'm just trying to relate this all back to what
I think there's a lot of relatability.
We need a separate conversation though.
Yeah.
I think to relate it back to you guys is, and to also keep it with what we're talking about, incorporating a sales structure, I feel like is probably what's missing. Maybe like again, where he's very good at what he does. It's like it's very cutting the crap. Literally, it's like, okay, build product, get eyes, book calls, close clients, make money, repeat. And so then now what his role is making sure that we're seen in the right places. So we should be on adverts everywhere. That's his part of it. Once they book a call, my part is I'll close that client and then we carry it. Do you know what I mean?
The distribution.
Yeah.
Before we finish, just you're dropping something, and your goal is to just be seen in all the right places at one time very quickly. What's that about? What does that mean? What is distribution? How does that work in the social media platform?
That's more your thing.
No, before we go into that, just give further context to it. So obviously you've created a documentary. So the last time you came over, you was documenting the whole process. You was on a podcast tour, and you've now put together this documentary series.
I actually can't wait for you lot to see it as well, especially you lot, because you lot are all in it.
Yeah.
So we brought a docu-series. It was over about 2-3 weeks of traveling around the UK. We did Nottingham, Birmingham, Leicester, London. And yeah, we just literally had the cameraman with us, like you saw. Big shout out to S. And the whole kind of play behind that, if I'm being honest, there was no play behind it at the time. It was just to have the videographer with us.
That's that big picture vision, though. You know, it's something to document.
Yeah,
That was just
yeah.
some rock star shit, man. This is just on some, I'm doing something, man, I'm filming it. I'm going to edit it
Not
out.
sure it's gonna go yet.
It's the creative in me.
Content.
And then big shout out to Ali, so our distributor, who's now a distributor. He was on one of the sets with us and he was like, what are you looking to do with this? I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm just filming, innit? He was like, yeah, but like, what are you going to do with the clips? I was like, I'll just get them out there. He's like, but how? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't really think that far. I even got a bit defensive. Like, I was a bit like,
But you're asking all of that.
yeah, like, what do you mean? And then he broke it down because that's what he does. He specializes in that. And he was like, you need to get on all the blogs and you need to kind of use the Andrew Tate method of like, everyone sees you in different directions, everywhere they look. And there's a method to that. Like a lot of people will hear that and they'll just, first thing they'll pay Made You Think to post will be selling. Like the first thing is like, buy my da-da-da-da. It's like, they don't even know you, bro. Like, yeah, you've got to warm the audience. So our distribution plan is basically warming the audience. I mean, we've already kind of done that. Like a lot of the blogs have posted our stuff before, but just warming them on this run. Getting the docuseries out there so people can see. The main aim of that is like a bit of a fly on the wall into two young entrepreneurs from South London who live in Dubai, which is quite a unique situation. So just fly on the wall vibes, enjoying the journey and a bit of banter and debates and mindset convos in the car or whatever. But it will warm them because it will let them know like one of our directors, he changed the whole thing. So we was going to release it back in the summer and he came on board. We hired him middle of the process and he said, this is good, but it's not good enough. And we was like, why? And he said, it needs a narrative. So it was just filming, but there was no narrative. So, you know, like go on.
What made you hire a director or change a director?
I think initially it was actually for clients to work on a lot of client projects. We had loads of client projects at the time and Triss's time was getting spread thin, so it made sense to bring someone else who would help out with the branding side of things for the clients. Then obviously we stopped doing the branding, so then it was like, all right, turn all your attention back to what we're doing.
And he's an asset that I'd worked with on brands for years before. So he came on board and he said, you know, like in Kardashians, in between the scenes, like you'll have Kim talking to the camera or like Big Brother. That's what gives the audience a narrative, like a side of just what was being filmed.
Some context to what's going on.
Yeah,
That's what that room down there is for.
Oh, like a middle section.
Yeah.
Sick. See, that was a bit over my head. I just didn't really think about it. So he came in and we literally done another 2 days of shooting and it's just me and him and Jimbo sitting in front of the camera and he's asking us questions. But because it was our first trip back to the UK, especially for me, it's deep. Like he's talking about like seeing my family and being away from long and just all the stuff I went through business-wise, ups and downs. So it's given it now like a whole new feel where there's a bit of emotion, there's a bit of banter, there's a bit
documentary
of,
now.
It's now a documentary, do you know what I mean? So yeah, we're gonna drop that, and the good thing is there's a lot of faces, people recognizing it, so it's not just all about us. And yeah, it's entertaining, man. Our thing is like our whole thing is edutainment, so like we try and keep it still a bit like entertaining, but it's always gems in there. Do you know what I mean?
So I think need to just give a little bit more about the distribution.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. I went off. So basically, distribution is what he does is he plugs in our content to all the blogs. Yeah, all the main blogs.
Oh, this is a person or a
person. That's a person. He's now in house for us.
I thought he was doing it all like phone call, message.
No. He just literally like bam, like then we'll get dates. It's gonna drop on that, and then that and that. But why he's amazing at what he does is because he also gives us. I'm giving away all the gems there. Yeah.
That's what we're here for, man.
But he also gives us the narratives as well. So like he'll watch this episode and he'll be like, okay, cool. When you spoke there about your brother, like I like that bit, like what you were saying, like, and then he'll cut that and then he'll put literally what you guys are doing, and he'll put the certain music behind it, and he'll say that's good for that blog, but not that one. And then bam, and then it will go. Like even that 1.7 million clip, that was him who I didn't really even think of that. So he's just like, I guess you guys are quite like that as well, like finger on the pulse of what's happening algorithm wise. We're a bit too caught up in the business to if we do all of that as well, it just something will get neglected. So we just say, look, here's everything. Here's all the content. He'll sit and go through. He'll chop up 10 clips. He'll give them to the blogs, and then we just sit back and then wait for the blogs.
Brings us full circle. because obviously the conversation started off with Speedy sending shots about being creative, and obviously like we spoke.
go, you know.
Nah, it's all good though. Like I need to hear it. Like, but I'm saying
But
like,
do you know what's good about that though? It's all based on passion. Of
course.
That's like me and him.
Yeah,
when we
yeah,
argue,
yeah.
it's only based on progress. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. So
I'm his biggest fan of it, so
Yeah, sick.
I
I
gotta be
love that.
straight to the point, bro. Like
Sick.
I need to make you understand how I see. I don't want to change your vision in
Sick.
no way, shape, or form. But I need to you need to understand you can get frustrated if you keep waiting for certain things, or thinking that you're making something perfect and the perfection's already there because of you.
It's not.
You get what I'm
nobody's
saying?
coming.
Yeah.
It's
And I
already
think it's
there.
probably good as well that like this conversation, you realize you ain't the only ones going through this
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
We've also built a podcast around this, our debates. Like we argue mad. Like,
no, but it's sick though, because that's something like you like have shown that like behind all of the content, there's actually a business structure, and you're conducting business. And I think that's what will separate you against the others, where a lot of people are just focused on, oh, we'll turn up every Thursday, put the podcast out, cut up some clips, and that's it.
That's what we want to show.
That's a very big point. That's a very big point. There's a business behind
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That allows you to keep turning up to do this.
That's what
100%.
he's saying essentially.
That's what I've been
he
trying
wants
to
to turn
tell
it
you.
into
yeah.
the business
That's what-
now.
that's
or
what
at
I've
least,
been-
or at least brings it back round to a business that you have external from.
Yeah, so
There's
you
gotta
can
be
do
something.
you can do all the documentaries. You can. That's my. I love doing that, bro. I can do that.
Yeah.
But no one's gonna give a shit though. But guess what? If there's a business behind it that's financing
100%.
it,
But you know what's mad? That's so needed because you see when we done ours,
Yeah.
I was just on some like I don't even know. I just think this is fly.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
when
yeah.
everyone sat me down, it made me realize you're going mad in the sense of like it is great, but guess what? It's first player syndrome.
Yeah.
I just think it's great because it's my story.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
give
yeah.
a fuck.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So now we've had to make it more
They will,
like we've
though.
got faces. They will,
will, though.
but you've got to be strategic. So now we've got the faces. We're gonna do a marketing strategy where there will be a picture of you guys that you could share on your platform
Yeah,
to say
yeah,
it's
yeah.
coming out and so on and so forth. So now your audience know and they know. Then now we got the blog. Now you're gonna get more people actually pay attention. Whereas I just thought,
it's just cold to do.
yeah, do you get what I'm
That's the
saying?
business of it, though. So it's easy for the artist to be caught up in the art and not understand the business of it.
Yeah.
Best way to put it.
But that's why you have managers. That's why you
Yeah.
have teams
Yeah.
around
Yeah,
an
yeah.
artist.
Yeah. Creatives can be dangerous on their own, man. I can't lie. Because, bro, how many people you know that are good at creating and they're just in their basement and no one knows they're
But
good?
look at most artists. Like look at like Basquiat, probably one of the greatest artists. Like you can't even buy the art now. But during his life, man was in the basement,
Yeah,
splashing
yeah.
the paint on. He didn't even know
Yeah.
how big he was gonna.
Like
be.
while he was doing beats, he was
was doing-
definitely.
he was
But
doing
but his thing.
Not
is-
compared to not,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah. Like yeah,
and
his,
most artists are like that.
yeah.
Most artists like that.
Need
Real
the balance.
artists, anyway.
So yeah, man. Nah, I feel like we've said what
Yeah.
needs to be
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
bro.
There's,
Like,
there's actions to be taken.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I know.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like we never had the plans to do so, but it's just now more than ever.
No excuse.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy the podcast, but put the business around it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so you can do what it needs
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
with everything else, like
Yeah.
that's
And
more the vision now. Like
Yeah.
focus on that.
And you know
get
what?
me?
If you have a following of people that appreciate the art that you put out, you owe it to them to turn it into a business so that you
That's
can
what he
sustain
So you can
it.
keep
That's
doing
his
it.
thing.
That's my thing.
That's
yeah.
that's so key, you know, because it gives you so much more leverage to be able to do it bigger and better.
Yeah,
Like
you can
imagine
give
what you
them
guys
more.
are doing with more funding, like what you've already done off your own back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Money's backed by gold.
100%.
That's what it's gonna be. So
So what were you saying? Live event December. That's what I heard.
Yeah. Let's leave with a.
And tickets go on sale tomorrow.
you know what the maddest thing
we
is?
can get the people to sell them for you if you want.
Yeah, we can do it. The maddest thing is, yeah, obviously, we had an event for Obama. You get what I'm saying? And it turned over in 2 weeks. How many people was there?
it's like
That was done quick.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like 450, 500. Something like
There was
that.
yeah, and raise decent money for the family and
Yeah,
whatnot, and just learning from you know a negative a bad situation. You get what I'm saying? Realistically, we got to be moving in certain ways to make sure that you know our families
Are
are okay. Bro, you get what I'm saying? So
100%.
that's the main thing, bro. Like as much as anything, bro, we don't want to be out here like killing ourselves for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Let's make it worth something. You get me?
100%.
We've done the killing stage, we've done the hard work, we've done the pain and the graft, and
That's it, bro. You get me?
done all that, man.
Yeah, no, big facts.
That's it.
All right.
Love, Cam.
I
Tris.
love coming up to you lot's platform, man. We
Yeah,
always have
yeah.
good like it don't feel like a podcast. It feels like a good conversation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
We try to be honest, man, and just keep it
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
You get me?
Nah, that was cool.
Well, thank you for coming, man, and
Thank you.
let's
for having us,
let's
man.
do business, man.
Therefore,
100%.
Yeah, 100%, man.